Welcome back.
Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search.
Most troubling.
Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle?
They are. I fear we have no time to lose. Have a look at the map. Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. My portrait hangs in the headmaster's office. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black learn of your arrival. And I'll confess that I wondered about you.
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself. You'll need to access the office while he's away.
I understand. Very well. I'll find some way to get in.
Good. I shall meet you in my portrait there. Until then.
Chips in the hat, if you please.
It's not like her to forget.
I didn't keep you waiting, did I?
Not at all. I was just at the post office. Gran told me to expect a package, but it looks as if she forgot to send it. She didn't send me an owl this week either. Perhaps she's busy with her research.
What was she sending you?
Only some feed she's been developing. I was going to give it to Professor Howin for the measles.
What kind of research is she doing?
It varies from week to week, but it's always to do with creatures. Last week she was studying leg knots in plimpies.
What did you find out about the dragon you were tracking?
I realised that she didn't know the poachers had her egg, so when she left Horntail Hall, she would have headed straight to her nest. I went back to the tent and tracked her flight.
How do you track a dragon long after she's gone?
Tree canopies, burn marks, things like that.
Well done. You certainly know what you're doing.
I can't be certain, but I have an idea of one place she may have been heading. I thought we might go and see it for ourselves.
Of course. Shall we leave now?
If that's all right. I want to see how she's faring if she had a collar on, and she's likely frantic about her egg. Here we are. I do think this is where we'll find her. The terrain's typical of where the breed would nest. I suspect it's how the poachers found her to begin with. They likely camped here and logged her patterns. Perhaps nabbed her first and then her egg. Dragons are hard enough to wrangle, let alone maternal ones.
You got all of that from simply standing here?
You'd be surprised how easy it is to think like a poacher. Shall we see if she's home? We only need to return her egg.
You're making this sound simple, But this is a dragon after all.
Hebrideans can be aggressive, but they're also clever. She caught on quickly enough when you showed her how to escape the tent. She'll understand why we're here once she sees her egg. Then we can be finished with the poachers once and for all.
I don't suppose you've thought about keeping it, have you?
No, it belongs to her. Keeping it will make me just as bad as the poachers.
If you're right about finding her here, how do we go about returning the egg?
Her nest will likely be in the heart of her den, which she will be keeping guard over. It might also be more charred than anywhere else, I imagine.
Well then, let's find our dragon and return her egg.
Wonderful. If she sees us flying about, she might take it as a sign of aggression or food. We should stay on foot. Oh, and one more thing. Let's not agitate her. Goodness knows she's been through enough already. There she is, above us. She did make it home safely. Oh, good. It looks as if she wasn't collared like the other dragons. Poor thing must be worried sick, wondering what happened to her egg.
For what it's worth, she doesn't seem to have spotted us yet.
Let's hope it stays that way.
Crucio. Confringo. Incendio. Stupefy. Incendio. Arresto momentum. Bombarda.
I wonder how many they brought to camp.
Revelio.
At least 10 usually.
How charming. They keep in touch with each other. Reparo.
Fantastic.
There she is again.
She's breathtaking.
From a distance.
I wonder how good her eyesight is.
I beg your pardon?
I don't imagine the poachers fed her well. And from a distance, we probably look exactly like sheep to her.
How lucky for us. What's your step?
Pity. She must have been starved to pick off a graphorn.
Or just raring for a fight.
Oh, what was that? Well, there's no turning back now.
Revelio.
Watch out! It's her domain. She'll make sure... Keep at it. We've just got to make it to the nest.
She's making it easy.
Not a warm welcome.
It's a little too warm, if you ask me. I don't suppose she listened to reason.
I'd normally try, but we're well past that. She's leaving! Quickly!
Brilliant.
There's the nest. We're almost there. Why is every bridge here broken?
Reparo.
Now, if we just return her egg, we can hopefully make it out without too much fuss. That was brilliant. And did you see how clever? She left us perfectly unharmed.
Creatures are a lot cleverer than most people realize.
That's what Gran always says. The important thing is that we survived it, and we returned her egg. Thank you for doing this with me. Wouldn't blame you one bit if you wanted to head back to the castle and never think about dragons again.
Shall we head back? I'm ready if you are.
I am. After our dragon rescue at Hauntel Hall, I half expect to be ambushed by poachers any time I'm not in the castle.
Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them.
True. So why haven't they come after us? It's not like them to let things lie. Unless
what?
Unless they haven't let things lie. Oh no, I can't believe I didn't see it. We need to leave. I need to send an owl. How could I have been so blind?
I could use some...
Now here's Professor Fig. The keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the port key. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. All right. You'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I've actually met Scrope, but I'm not sure he'll tell me. He's rather devoted to the Black family.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't Polyjuice potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have Polyjuice potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more. How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the Ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Do you have a moment, Professor? Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion, and I
did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Now, to determine which student gets this rather unenviable task.
When I witness what passes for magic in these halls, I simply mourn for the future of the...
I thought I heard the headmaster approaching.
You call that a shine on those boots? Do better!
Headmaster? Here, what could he want?
I haven't time for any of...
Professor, a word? Professor Black, again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kagawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they're fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly game? You are quite impossible sometimes. Sir, I've a good mind to write to the Department of Magical Games and Sports at the Ministry about you.
Good idea. I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, where is my elf?
Parchment? Very well, I will, and with pleasure. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kagawa.
What did we do to deserve him as a head?
I wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the Ministry.
Oh no, it's the headmaster and he's coming this way.
Stand proud, purebloods.
Professor, I need to speak to you.
Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise? I confess I do worry for his students. He's rarely here as it is.
I realize that, and I'd like to keep it that way.
I see. But, sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle, supposedly on Professor Fig's behalf. I've heard unsettling rumours of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot. I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful.
Thank you. But I'm happy to look into...
Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
A wonderful job. Leeway for Professor Fig? I shall never understand.
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
Scrope's as hard a worker as any house elf.
Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
How dare you question me? I've a mind to give you a matching set of ears.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
Master does remember it.
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope thinks Master is indeed testing Scrope. It is always pure.
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Oh, very well. Toujours pure.
There is another matter, Scrope. I confiscated this filthy diary from a student. It smells of squid and seawater.
Oh, Apollonia's diary. That is quite a surprise, Master. What do you wish Scrope to do with this treasure? Rubbish.
Whatever you wish, Scrope. It's your treasure. Now, off with you. The Polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight. Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now to speak the password to the gargoyle.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Revelio. The gargoyle. That's where I need to speak the password. Toujours pure. I wonder if all the elite wizarding families have a motto. Revelio. Hello, Hamora. Revelio.
It's good to see you.
All thanks to Professor Fig's quick thinking. Now what?
Approach the pedestal in the antechamber and read the book that appears.
I suspect there will be more to this than reading a book.
Your suspicions are correct. We shall speak when you are finished.
Has this been under the headmaster's nose all this time? Revelio. That must be the pedestal. Where am I? Professor Fitzgerald? Can you hear me?
I am here. In this place, you may call me Niamh. You shall be witness to a fable. Pay attention. Things are not always as they seem. You must move swiftly and cautiously. Use the tools you encounter to find me. In this place, as in life, death takes many forms. Avoid each of them at all costs.
When I could.
I need to get out of here. Where could Niamh be? I need to time this just right. I see. A staircase straight ahead. A ladder. Perhaps they won't be able to find me if I go up there. This is my chance. I'm coming, Niamh. Too many. I must cross this road as fast as I can. That's where I need to go, but I need to find a way past them. Nothing this way, no danger. There must be another way to find you. I need to turn back. There's no way past them that way. That doorway looks like the only safe one. Closed tight. No way but forward, I suppose. Now's my chance. That's the way forward. Can this be? I think I'm invisible. They can't see me at all. I can get closer to them. This is the way forward. Finally free. Now where are you, Niamh?
You have outrun death thus far, but have yet to find me. Keep searching, but this time you will be unable to hide. Wield the wand you see before you. Do not squander its extraordinary power.
I've never felt such power.
Bombarder! Repulsor!
Bombarda. Depulso. Defendo. Depulso. Bombarda. Protego. Defendo. Depulso. Descendo. Defendo. Descendo. Depulso. Protego. Defendo. Stupid. Depulso. Defendo. Depulso. Descendo. Descendo. Depulso. Protego. Defendo. Bombarda. Stupid. Depulso. Descendo. Defendo. Bombarda. Defendo. Descendo. Defendo. Bombarda. Protego. Stupid one. Descendo. Depulso. Defendo. Descendo. Defendo. Bombarda. Defendo. Descendo. Depulso. Bombarda. Defender. Protego. Stupid. Depulso. Bombarda. Stupid. Defender. Stupid. Defender. Stupid one. Defender. Protego. Depulso. Defendo. Bombarda. Stupid. Descendo. Defendo.
through the mourners ahead. Nothing is what it seems.
She's gone.
Dear sweet Niamh.
Let us always honor. May her memory be a treasure to us forever.
You found me, but you cannot undo what has been done. The magic of the stone can only conjure a shadow of my former self. But there is no light without shadow, as there is no shadow without light. Simply because you can eliminate darkness does not always mean that you should. Remember that as you witness my memory.
Isadora, what you did for your father was remarkable.
Well, wasn't it? And Percival needn't worry about the strands of emotion or the traces that this magic leaves. I found a way to contain all of it.
You haven't stopped.
Goblin silver.
You spoke to a goblin about this.
Don't worry, he has no idea what we're containing.
We don't know what effect any of this may have. The emotions, the dark traits.
You sound like Percival. And as it happens, I do know. It is a source of strength, of focus. Somehow it enhances my ability to wield magic.
I don't follow, Isadora.
I think we can harness it.
Power like this is not to be toyed with. In the wrong hands.
You saw what I did for my father. Oh, Niamh, imagine the good we could do. Everyone is in some kind of pain.
What are you doing?
Breathe it in. Can you feel it?
Oh, Isadora. This must stop. All of it.
You've kept this power to yourselves for so long because you fear it. I choose to embrace it.
Is it true? Has someone completed the first 3 trials?
It is, and I have.
But you are so...
young? I know. You must be Professor Bakar.
I am.
Pleased to meet you. The pensive memory I just witnessed, was Isadora inhaling painful emotions?
She was.
I was amazed to see that it seemed to give her some sort of power, and that she could harness it. But how?
I worry that you seem more intrigued than repulsed. I hesitate to reveal the location of my pensive to someone who, perhaps, has yet to understand the responsibility of power.
I can assure you, Professor, I do. In fact, what you don't yet know is that a dangerous goblin called Ranrock has accessed the repository at Rookwood Castle. He has learned to harness the contents of it as a source of immense power. He plans to use that power against wizardkind. We have no time to waste.
I see. Nonetheless, the knowledge you shall gain after you witness my memories is too valuable to share without further consideration. I shall require time to confer with the other keepers.
It seems we have no choice but to wait, frustrating as it is. I heard what you told Professor Bakar. Isadora was inhaling emotions to gain power?
She was. And she pulled emotions, as she did from her father, from Professor Fitzgerald, without permission.
Monstrous.
What's more, she said that she found a way to store the traces of magic she extracted in goblin silver.
The repositories?
Possibly. There's something I didn't get a chance to tell you earlier. Ranrock has been digging at locations tied to the 5 names he found in the journals of a goblin metalworker named Bragball.
5 names? The Keepers, and who else? Isadora Morganac?
Precisely. That's how he's been one step ahead of us. Gringotts, the Tower, Rookwood Castle.
If the Keepers won't tell you where the next trial is yet, I say we at least maintain a watch on Ranrock. Perhaps he'll lead us to more information.
Perhaps. I hope to hear from Lodgok soon. I haven't heard anything since I learned of the drills. Oh, and as you've probably guessed by now, your Polyjuice plan worked like a charm.
I knew it would. I may have done too good a job distracting Black. I had no idea he can't hold his fire whiskey.
Deke has some exciting news to share. Deke has some exciting news to share.
Settle yourself. I mean you no harm. I'll look after you. There. I'm not going to hurt you.
Deke has some exciting news to share.
Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you had an idea.
Indeed, Deke does. Deke knows that you want to learn about all sorts of beasts, and Deke recently heard rumours of a phoenix nest in a nearby mountain.
A phoenix nest? I wonder if it belongs to the phoenix gnat he mentioned, the one Harlow and the poacher pack are after.
Deke would not doubt it. If Deke has heard of it, surely the nasty poachers have as well, which means it could be in danger.
Well, I'd better go and rescue it then, hadn't I?
Deke thinks so. So majestic a beast should not fall into such vile hands. Deke is not sure why, but Deke feels that saving a phoenix might help to make amends for what happened with Deke's prior master. Deke hopes that you are able to find the phoenix and bring it to the room where it will be safe.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
That relic is the key to saving Anne. I know it. Meet me outside of Feldcrot as soon as you can.
Everything's all right now.
Revelio.
There's not a thing worth learning from civilized society.
A blockade. Rookwood's poachers are already here.
Revelio. Incendio. Depulso. Bombarda.
Could the phoenix be in there?
Bombarder!
What? No. Keep looking. Not much a single feather fetches. Just imagine a whole blooming bird.
Oh, should have stayed at the castle.
Arrest them.
Incendio! Glacius!
I heard something.
Potato! Stupefy! Area! Confringo! Stupefy! Confringo! Incendio! Incendio!
No. What have you done?
No! Stupid one! Glacius! Is it you?
You're the
Accio! No! Confringo! Incendio! Glacius!
The beasts around here can sleep a bit easier now.
Incendio! Confringo! Incendio! Arresto Lorenzo! Expelliarmus! Confringo! Keep the phoenix. We're keeping people out. Pay attention.
More poachers. How many are there?
That curiosity young people tend to nurture never ends well for them, does it?
Beasts were made to be skinned and eaten.
Revelio.
The phoenix. It almost seems as if it wants me to follow it. I need to find it before the poachers do.
Revelio. Aloha Mora.
Revelio. There it is again. Incendio. Revelio. Incendio. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Incendio. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Expelliarmus! Arresto momentum. There's a victory that came none too soon. Ugh.
Well, if it isn't the little hypocrite. You're not. Away.
Potato. Confringo. Incendio. Forever. Expelliarmus. Arresto momentum.
You'll have to fight eventually. Death, they want to...
That was for hiring. Revelio. Expulso. Hello. I'm here to help. Let's get you back to the room. Deke's going to be pleased. I should investigate.
Did you find the phoenix?
Yes, Deke. And I rescued it from the poachers. I have it here. It's safe.
Remarkable! Well, what are you waiting for? Deke cannot wait to... My heavens! What a beauty! You keep it close. Professor Weasley and Deke were right to tell you about the Room of Requirement. Look at all you've done, and how many beasts you've rescued. A phoenix is safe now, because of you.
I couldn't have done it without your help, Deke. Thank you.
Deke is grateful for the kind words, and also grateful to have been of assistance to someone like yourself. Helping you do such good for so many beasts has given Deke a sense of peace Deke hasn't known in years. Deke will always be here for you when you need him.
Come in. Sorry if there's a smell. New batch of toad-hide. not mind seeing you here again. Consider yourself welcome. On another adventure, are we?
You're back! Nice to see you again. You'll be thrilled with that broom, I promise you. You're all set with the new upgrade. I can't wait to hear what you think. This may sound presumptuous, but...
You'd like me to report back with even more flight details.
You know me well. I feel I'm almost there. I just think I can improve broom flight a bit more. Miss Ray's is running a time trial at the South Coast course. Not ideal, really, what with rumours of Ranrock's lot and Ashwinders infiltrating the place. However, if you're flying high above them, you should be all right, I think.
I'm not worried, Mr. Weeks. I'll see if I can find Imelda.
I hope you are able to complete these trials. I have a feeling this final upgrade is going to be a sweeping success. Do be careful, of course. I shall look forward to hearing from you soon. I look forward to our next meeting.
Ugh. Revelio. Trouble's brewing and I'm without my friend.
Stop right there! Or I'll make you stop!
All they do is interfere with making a success. The course looks rather deserted. I hope everything's all right. Revelio. Professor Howard will never believe this. Revelio. I'll look after you.
I'm over here.
Hello again, Imelda. This course is a bit far from the castle, isn't it?
Obviously. Evidently too far for most of our classmates. Pathetic. They should be begging me to keep these trials alive, not running scared. I'm surprised our new 5th year showed up. I suppose I appreciate the effort.
That's actually... thank you.
I know I can be impatient, but I get frustrated by those who don't take things as seriously as I do. And in my experience, that's everyone. Anyway, don't let it go to your head. Right then, enough chatter. I'm confident I've posted a time you won't be able to beat.
We'll soon see how I fare, won't we? I'm ready.
Get ready to lose.
This is going well. Oh, blast. That wasn't too difficult. Oh! Oh! Brilliant flying, if I do say so myself. Oh! Oh! Made it. That wasn't too bad. That was quite something.
Impressive work today, but don't get too comfortable. I'll be on your heels in no time. My family's not going to believe the news when I tell them. They're almost as competitive as I am. Almost.
Do you get your competitiveness from your family?
You could say that. My grandfather played Quidditch for Puddlemere United, and my father, well, he was a chaser for Slytherin, but had to stop after a curse took his knees out. Said it was the Gryffindor beater. And me, I fell in love with flying the first time I saw the ground disappear beneath my feet. Something about the freedom you feel on a broom. I've not been able to stop since.
Will you keep running these courses?
I'll race them myself. Don't want to get rusty. But I won't be dealing with time trials. You're welcome to run them too. Anyway, hope we find time to fly again soon.
I take it you want to play for a team, but which one? And which position?
I'm my father's girl. A chaser through and through. You'd know that if Black hadn't cancelled Quidditch this year. As for a team, it's the Holyhead Harpies I've always dreamt of. When I'm finished with school, I'll try out. If for some reason I don't get accepted, I don't know what I'll do. Herbology, perhaps? Because if that did happen, you might as well pot me and call me a mandrake. I'd never stop screaming.
It's been fun competing against your records, Imelda.
It has been fun. Glad you're here, 5th year. You're an asset to our house. You take care of yourself.
How's my favourite test flyer? Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
Hello again, Mr. Weeks. I set a new record at the South Course.
Fantastic! Your broom performed well then?
The best upgrade yet. It flew beautifully, incredibly nimble. But with the speeds it now reaches, I can feel the wind catching beneath the seat a bit, preventing it from reaching its full potential.
Of course! Should have anticipated that. Exactly the kind of report I've come to expect from you. At last, I think I know what needs to be done for my final upgrade.
What will you do after the final upgrade is complete?
I aim to make Spintwitches the most sought-after shop in Hogsmeade. And I wouldn't mind getting back on a broom myself, just for the thrill of it. Couldn't be more pleased we made headway with the upgrades, proved the naysayers wrong, made all the hard work worth it.
I shall look forward to speaking again.
I'll be sure to send you an owl when I'm finished. Thank you again for your help. Couldn't have done this without you.
should dismount here.
Nothing pleasant about this coast.
I received your owl. Thank you.
I'm glad you came. I spotted droves of Ranrock's loyalists coming up from the coast. Overheard one of them say they're headed to another cavern, like the one we found. How are they still one step ahead of us? They can't know about the triptych.
I don't know. I did see another memory. This time it was a keeper named Niamh Fitzgerald. She was unnerved by Isadora's use of ancient magic. But I still can't be sure how any of it connects to Ranrock.
These keepers are playing games with you. You need to press them for more information.
It doesn't work like that. To access each of these memories, I have to complete a trial. It's not as easy as you think. They're showing me the memories in a particular order.
Either they don't trust you, or you don't care enough about Anne to ask the difficult questions.
Of course I care, Sebastian. We've come this far. Don't let your frustration get the better of you.
Fine. I'll defer to your keeper friends, for now. But I don't like it.
We don't have a choice. Now, shall we see why the triptych led us here?
Let's go, quickly, before we're spotted. Keep a close eye out. I saw some of Ranrock's crew moving off the path just ahead.
I wonder why.
Raiding, I imagine. This mountain used to safeguard local hamlet valuables. But it's been abandoned ever since Ranrock took hold of the coast.
I could fall dead asleep on my feet, I could.
Mr. Dallas.
What's that? Aha! There!
Revelio.
Thestrals overhead. Some consider them a bad omen.
Not everyone does.
I know that.
All right.
I'm making small talk. I'm not going to trek up this mountain in silence.
You trespass.
Wait, we should have some sort of plan.
I'm through.
Arrest them. Too slash. I'll get you.
Expelliarmus. Accio.
Truly. This is almost too easy. Oh, that was meant for me. Little moon car.
You won't get away with that. Why have you not run? An intruder!
Levioso.
Easily diverted.
Places.
Put me on the ground!
They got what they deserved.
Revelio. What were you thinking?
I was thinking about dead goblins.
You could have got us killed.
But I didn't. Looks like Ranrock's loyalists were heading further up the path.
Let's keep going. Accio. Convulso. Revelio. Revelio.
Ramrock's gonna make everyone pay.
Anything made from goblin silver belongs to us. Whether it's a sword or a repository, whatever that is.
Did you hear that, Goblin?
Ridiculous notions of ownership.
Over here!
Descendo. Glaciers.
I won't.
Revelio. Repulso. Lumos. Lumos. Lumos.
I agree. Only good wizard's a dead wizard. Ranrock's got that right.
Descendo.
Luck's killing to help him achieve his goals. God.
Glaciers. Defendo.
Pity. Not quite.
You don't see you.
Spells glance off of me.
This must be it.
Sebastian, wait.
Wait? For what? Why are you suddenly so cautious?
Listen to me. I know you're angry and frustrated, but charging ahead now could undo all the progress we've made. Lord Gok said...
Oh, your goblin friend?
Stop it. That's enough. Not all goblins are like Ranrock. I am not the enemy. We want the same thing. To find answers.
I thought we wanted the same thing.
We do. Listen to me. Lord Gok has insights into Ranrock that we don't. He told me that Ranrock somehow knows about the Keepers and is searching anywhere connected to each of them. That's why they always seem to be one step ahead. I know what I'm doing. You need to trust me, or I don't see that we can continue together.
Fine. I'm sorry. I'm letting my emotions get the better of me. And I have been for a while. I do trust you. And I don't think I can help Anne without you.
Good. Ranrock clearly knows more than we thought. We need to be careful and do this right, not just go charging in. We have our work cut out for us. We need to work together if we're going to find the final piece to the triptych.
Agreed.
So far, so good.
Charming. Spiders. How fitting.
Defender! Area! Glacius!
Levioso! Accio! Descendo! Potato! Stupefy!
Stupefy! Potato! Stupefy! Incendiary! Stupefy! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Incendio! Confringo! Incendio! Accio! Depulso!
Almost as good as if I'd done it myself.
Revelio! Incendio! One nudge and that chest might have fallen.
Oh, I think 3 nudges at least.
These spiders are determined to make a meal of us.
I'm sure we taste better than a goblin dinner.
Confringo! A staircase leading here. Whatever for?
I don't think anyone's been here for
Incendio! Depulso!
Look at this place. Not really my style. A bit much, if you ask me.
Accio! Accio! Glacius! Crucio! Defender! Glacius! Bombarda! Glacius! arms. Arrest their momentum. Incendio. Confringo. Bombarda. Getting through the cavern can't have been the only challenge. Perhaps we should search for runes.
We've seen rune symbols like these before.
Revelio. Incendio. Revelio.
Can't get out of here quick enough.
Sebastian, a journal entry. We should look for more.
Why couldn't she have kept all her journal entries in one place?
Trolls! Levioso! Arrest the momentum. Confringo. Accio. Descendo. Glaciers. Defendo. Crucial. Bombarda. Protego! Accio! Glaciers!
Nice team.
Revelio. Nothing like an angry troll to bring friends together. Reparo. Revelio.
That was a piece of work.
More than one. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Leviosa.
Find something.
A journal entry. Isadora was here. Revelio.
I'm out of breath after all of those stairs. But the view, well worth it. Another barrier. We can blast through it. So,
Revelio.
This can't be a dead end. Must be another floor above us. Good news?
This journal entry sounds worrisome. Revelio. Bombarda! Incendio! Revelio!
Almost as good as if I'd done it myself.
This place can't have belonged to only Isadora.
But the triptych pointed us here.
Revelio!
Another rune symbol. I should be fluent in runic language by now. Could this be another area Isadora created?
Isadora must have honed her skill with ancient magic here. I know from the memories I've seen that the Keepers and Isadora didn't see eye to eye on the use of ancient magic.
I wish you could see one of her memories.
The final canvas piece to the triptych. We've done it!
Isadora should not have had to keep all this secret.
I know from the memories I've seen that the Keepers and Isadora didn't see eye to eye on the use of ancient magic. But I don't understand why she seems to have gone to such great lengths to tell her story without their knowledge.
I wish you could see one of her memories.
So do I.
Perhaps.
Revelio.
I cannot believe the journey this triptych took us on.
This is it.
Don't keep me in suspense. Go on, place it.
Oh. Another pensive.
This is what we've been chasing.
I wonder.
What is it?
Let's find out.
I cannot bring my brother back, Father. But I can give you peace. Please, have a seat.
Isadora, we are all most intrigued to hear.
We're ready. I've something to show you. Father, these are my colleagues from Hogwarts. Father hasn't spoken since my brother died. On my travels, I confirmed that which I've always believed. That we have the power to take away pain.
Isadora. What have you done?
I took his pain.
Thank you.
That worked.
It did indeed.
Of course it did. It's Goblin silver.
I need something much bigger.
All right. It would help if you could tell me more about what it is you're storing.
Magic. Left over from a spell I devised to remove pain, but if used correctly, its power can be used to do even more good.
Why would you want to store such magic away?
I only need to keep it safe until I can convince my colleagues of its worth. Magic like this unnerves some.
Not everyone's ready to wield such power.
Perhaps not. Someone will be.
She took away the pain. I knew it. I knew there was a way to help Anne.
Something isn't right, Sebastian.
What do you mean? You saw what she did.
No, not the memories, the portrait. I think the reason Isadora hasn't appeared is because she can't.
I don't follow.
We have seen that view before. The abandoned home in Felgroft, the destroyed painting, it was her.
So someone destroyed a bit of enchanted canvas, but we found the memory.
Yes, you're right.
We saw what she wanted us to see. We saw what she could do, what you can do.
But I don't know how to do what Isadora did.
Well, then you shall learn. The Keepers can teach you.
I'm not sure that they would. The Keepers believe that removing someone's ability to feel pain, it's a highly complicated, unpredictable form of magic. One that should be wielded with great care. If at all.
If at all? You've overcome all of their challenges. You've more than proven yourself. You can wield it. You have the ability. Please, talk to the Keepers. If not for me, then for Anne.
Why did the Keepers want to keep Isadora quiet? Why destroy her portrait?
I'm truly awed by what we've accomplished. The final broom upgrade is better than even I expected. Stop by Spintwitches when you can.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Sebastian, a lost relic from a catacomb which requires a dark sacrifice.
I know how it sounds, but if this can help you, it's worth the risk.
Does Ominous know about this?
He helped find the scriptorium where we discovered Slytherin's spellbook.
Very well. If Ominous will be there, I'll meet you. We don't have much time. Solomon wants to leave Feldcroft.
What? Leave? Never mind. You need to stall him. Buy us time, Anne. Please.
I shall do my best. I'll be in touch.
Solomon can't take Anne from Feldcroft. Where would they go? When would I see her?
Sebastian.
I can't believe my uncle wants to leave Feldcroft. Anne's going to stall him. She must. We need time.
Time? For what?
I've learned more about the relic. I cross-referenced Slytherin's spellbook with everything in the library on relics and dark sacrifices. That's when I realized something. I believe the relic will only work inside the catacomb.
So we have to get Anne to the catacomb and then conduct a sacrifice. Seems risky.
It'll be worth the risk. Our biggest hurdle may be convincing Ominous. And we'll only give this a chance if he's on board.
And we have to keep all of this from your uncle. If he goes to the headmaster, we could be expelled.
Let me handle Ominous this time. As for my uncle, he's not an Auror anymore. What he doesn't know, well, won't hurt us.
Good luck with Ominous. Until we meet again.
I shall let you know when the four of us should meet at the catacomb. Look for my owl. See you soon.